Yeah, so last class we completed this IOC container. So guys, what are different types of IOC container we have? So these types of container we have discussed. So guys, coming about Spring Bean Factory, it is basically the base simplest container and it is not able to inject all the types of dependency. So instead of that, what we can do, we can go for application context container. We can go for guys application context container. Now this application context container, you can say it is advanced type of container. Yes, it is nothing but it is advanced type of container and it can inject all the types of dependency. And yes guys, it is able to inject all the types of dependency. Now these two container are nothing but interface. So since it is interface, we cannot create object. We are not able to create a normal object. So here we can create implementation object, but let us say we will go for implementation class and we will make use of implementation class. So let's say guys, for a Spring application context container, we have we have n number guys, but basically we will use these major implementation classes. So we will proceed guys. Before that guys, we should learn what is the advantage why we are going to use Spring. So basic introduction is already done in last class. So we know what is Spring, who developed Spring and all. Now we have to learn why Spring, why we are going to use Spring. First advantage we can say it has predefined template. It has predefined template. So this Spring, so guys, Spring is having predefined template. So what is template? We know it contains all the property. Basically, I hope you learned the types of template and what is template in case of web technology. So now guys, template is nothing but we can say it is a predefined class, something like that we can say. It is nothing but it is a predefined class. Now the Spring contains predefined template. It contains predefined template. So it has many predefined templates. So it has major templates, predefined templates as JDBC module template. It contains ORM or let's say Hibernate template. So guys, whenever we will go for normal JDBC, we have to follow 7 steps mandatory. But if we are going to make use of JDBC module, then we have something as JDBC predefined template. So just we have to call the template. Just we have to make use of that particular template and automatically all the steps of JDBC will be executed. Just we have to call the template of JDBC or just we have to import the template of JDBC. Automatically all the steps of JDBC we have learned normally, it will be executed. So no need to load the driver class, no need to establish the connection and so on. So once you will call the template and once you will make use of template, all the resources will be executed. So that's what Spring Framework provides: template for JDBC, Hibernate, JPA, etc. So there is no need to write so much of code. In the sense, no need to write all the 7 steps of the code. So no need to write so much of code. It hides the basic steps of these technologies. So the basic steps, whatever we are going to write, no need to write. Just we have to call the template, just we have to use the template. Automatically, all the steps will be completed automatically. It will be executed automatically. Yes. So first advantage, predefined template. So it is going to reduce the length of, because we will not write all the codes. Just we'll make use of template. Inside the template, each and every resource is present. It will be executed automatically. Main advantage nothing but loose coupling. First main advantage guys, it is nothing but loose coupling. Now how we can achieve loose coupling? So we can achieve loose coupling with the help of dependency injection. Yes, here we can achieve loose coupling with the help of dependency injection. So first advantage, predefined template. Second advantage is nothing but loose coupling. Because we are using dependency injection, so no need to create the object. Object will be created automatically at runtime. So it leads to loose coupling. How it is going to happen? Once we go for program guys practical session, we will get to know. No need to worry. So today we will cover at least one program. Yes, so that's second advantage. Let us go for third advantage. So third advantage nothing but you can say lightweight. It is nothing but it is a lightweight framework. It is nothing but guys lightweight framework, because Spring is going to use again POJO class, same as of your Hibernate. Even Spring is going to make use of POJO class. Now the Spring framework does not force the programmer to inherit any class. So in case of Spring, we are not going to inherit the class. Just we have to Yeah, we are not going to inherit any class or interface. Just we have to inject the class. In case of Spring guys, we are not going to inherit the class and we are not going to call the class or interface. Just we have to inject the class. So that's what the Spring framework does not force the programmer to inherit any class or any interface. That is why it is known as non. Okay, it is known as non-invasive. Yes. So in case of Spring guys, Spring framework is not going to, it will not force programmer or user to call or inherit the class or interface. Just we have to inject it. So that is the reason it is also known as lightweight, because hence here we will use event Pojo class or main class or entity class. Yes. So next main advantage guys, you can say fourth advantage, that is fast development. By using Spring framework, we can develop the application faster. We can develop the application faster because the dependency injection feature of Spring framework, and it is going to support various frameworks. Since it is going to support guys dependency injection, and even it will support template, it is going to support other frameworks. So with the help of Spring framework, we can develop an application faster. So next fourth advantage, you can say fast development. Fast development. So these are the major four advantages of Springs. We have first is predefined template, second is loose coupling, third is lightweight, and fourth one is fast development because it contains template and all. So even guys, we have multiple advantages. You can explore the things by yourself, but these are the major advantages of Spring framework. These are the major advantages of Spring framework. That is the reason we are going to use. So guys, all of you take down subheading as advantage of Spring framework and copy down these points. Okay, so let us proceed. So guys, we learned what is, yeah, now guys, we learned what is dependency injection and who is going to inject this dependency, and what is IOC container, different types of IOC container. These things we learned. Now guys, even this dependency injection is of two types. Even this dependency injection guys is of basically two types. So let us discuss the types of dependency injection. So types of DI. Types of dependency injection. So the dependency injection is broadly classified into types. So first type we can say as a setter dependency injection. So setter DI, setter dependency injection, or you can say SDI. You can say SDI. So first type is setter dependency injection, and or the setter dependency injection is also known as property dependency injection. So first type is setter dependency injection, or you can say property dependency injection. And second type is constructor. Second type is constructor dependency injection. That is CDI. That is CDI. So guys, this dependency injection is broadly classified into two types. It's broadly classified into two types. Don't copy anything. I'll leave all these points. Let me explain. That's it. So guys, in case of setter dependency injection, in case of setter dependency injection, one object is injected inside another object by using setter method. In case of setter dependency injection, one object is injected inside another object by using setter's method. Similarly, we have something as CDI, constructor dependency injection. In case of CDI, constructor dependency injection, the property, or let's say one object is injected inside another object which is dependent by using constructor. So let's say guys, we have a class here. Let's say we have a class employee. Let's say we have one class employee, and we have one more class, that is class department. So let's say guys, we have two class here, class employee and class department. So currently we are going to make use of setter injection. So basically you will create a Pojo class. You will create two Pojo class, and let's say the employee is having ID, employee is having name. Employee contains ID as well as name. Even employee is dependent on department. So here what we have to do, here we have to inject the department inside employee, because if there is any employee, he or she belongs to any department. So here employee is dependent on some department. So what I do here, you have to declare the reference of department also. So let's say the reference is DEPT. Let's say guys, the reference is DEPT. So currently guys, The employee is having two property, ID and name, and this department is nothing but it is a reference of department class. It is a reference of department class. So in this, now currently we are going to make use of setter injection. So now let's say for department also we have something as dname. We have something as dname, and let's say location, TLOC, location. Now, so what you will do for this employee class, you will create getters and setters. Similarly, for this department class also you will create, for department class also guys, you are going to create getters and setters. So what you will do, you will say set ID, and you are going to pass here ID. Set ID will pass here ID. Similarly, you will say set name, and you will pass here name. Similarly, you will say here set department, and you will pass here department. Similarly, for this class, what will happen, guys? Set dname, and you will pass here dname. Similarly, set location, you will pass here location. So guys, what you are going to do, you are going to inject this particular object of department inside employee by using setter. You can see you are going to inject the department by using setter. So now guys, who is responsible to inject department inside employee? Good. So that is done by your IOC container. Let's say the IOC container nothing but he is a human. So that is done by IOC container. So what will happen, guys? Here IOC container will create two objects. So first object will be department. Second object will be employee. So here even object will be created by IOC container itself, and even that property will be injected by IOC container itself, guys. So one object department will be created. There dname and delocation will be injected. So these object will be created at runtime, guys. Remember, this object will be created at runtime dynamically. Similarly, one more object will be created at runtime. So in this object, IOC container will inject ID, it will inject name, and it will inject the reference of department class. In the sense, here you will get again dname and you will get location. So this reference will be injected here. So for the first object, department object, we will have two property, dname and location. So the object will be created at runtime. Even the property will be injected by IOC container at runtime itself. For another object, first one for employee also, guys, similarly one object will be created, and first ID will be injected, then name will be injected, and similarly this department details, means reference of department, will be injected. So here we are going to inject. See, we have used what? Set department. So here we are going to make use of setter method to inject. Here, guys, basically we are using setter method to inject the property or to inject the object. Here we are using setter method to inject the object of department into employee class. So this is all about your setter. So here IOC container will create the object and it will inject the dependency at runtime. So this is all about your setter dependency injection. We will see the things practically also, guys. No need to worry. First, let me explain. Then we'll go for practical things. So, guys, setter injection is clear. Similarly, we will have something as constructor injection. So let's say we have one class. Let's say, guys, we have one class here. That is class name I'm going to give. Let's say the class name is nothing but university. Class name is nothing but, let's say, university. And let's say we have one more class. We have a class name as college. So class C will be lowercase, guys, just adjust college. So again, for this class, you will create a constructor. Again, for this class, you will create a constructor, that is college. You will pass all the property here. Whatever property you are going to assign for college, you will pass here. You will initialize with type of constructor. But this time we are not going to make use of setter. Since we are going to inject the property with type of constructor, so we will not declare setter method. So let's say some property of university are university name, university ID. Similarly, some property of college is college name, college ID. Now, guys, again, let's say this university object is dependent on college, because without college, university is nothing. So here, university is dependent on college. So what we have to do, we have to inject here, guys. We have to inject the property of Yes, here we have to inject the property of college inside university. So what we will do again, the university is having two property you can see guys, that is university name and university ID. Similarly, we have college name, see college name, college ID. So I need to inject the property of this college inside university. So that we are going to pass inside constructor. So first will be university name, second will be your university ID, and third will be your reference of, let's say you will say college, okay, college C. So that property, this C is going to point to college class. So that property we have to inject with the help of this constructor. So you'll pass here C. You'll pass here C. So guys, what will happen? Again, this is done by your IOC container itself. This IOC container, this is done by your IOC container itself. Now what IOC container will do, it will create one object of college and it will inject these two properties. It will inject these two properties. Again, it will create one more object of university, and it will inject first university name, it will inject university ID, and then even it will inject the dependency whatever we had from college class. Whatever dependency we had from college class, it will be injected. So like this guys, we can follow your setters method, and like this we can inject an object. We can inject one object inside another object by using constructor. So simply what we have to do, you have to pass the dependent object, or you have to pass the dependency inside the constructor. Clear guys? So these two things we'll see practically. Don't need to worry. Just I'm giving overview. Once we'll go for practically, once we'll execute the program, there you will get a clear picture. But guys, what is setter injection? What is getter injection? Is it clear? Yes. So in case of setters, we'll make use of setter method to inject the property. In case of constructor, we'll make use of constructor to inject the property. So guys, all of your takedowns are heading as types of injection, and copy down these points neatly. Container is not a Superman or Superwoman. So we have to specify each and every property whose object should be created and where we have to inject the object. So that is done by your configuration file. Yes, IOC container will create the object, but we have to give the information to IOC container to create the object, to manage the object, and to inject which object inside, like one object, another inside another object, one object inside another object. So we have to specify, we have to give information. So that is done by your configuration file. Guys. So we have to configure the way we used to configure Hibernate programs, Pojo class. Similarly, even we have to configure your Spring program. So that is done by your configuration file. So basically, this configuration file is used to configure the setting of Spring framework. So by using configure file, we can specify to the IOC container to create the object, to inject the object, and so on. So guys, for the IOC container, basically we have to specify beans. We have to specify the beans and dependencies. So beans is nothing but a bean is an object that is instantiated, or you can say assembled and managed by a Spring IOC container. Let's say we have a class student. So the time we will send this entity to IOC container, this student will act as a bean. So bean is nothing but it is a class, or let's say it is nothing but it's a class name provided to IOC container. Bean is nothing but guys, it's a class name provided to IOC container. So that class name we have to provide inside configuration file. So that's what this IOC container is, not a Superman or Superwoman, that the IOC container will do each and everything by itself. So we have to specify these things to the IOC container. So basically we have to specify the bean. Bean is nothing but it is an entity which is provided to IOC container. So guys, inside this configuration file, we are going to make use of multiple class names. So for this configuration file, the parent tag will be beans. So in case of Hibernate, we will use Hibernate configuration tag, but here we will use the parent tag as bean, not beans, and we will close this beans at last. And in between we have to specify n number of bean. Guys. So let's say bean 1, it is bean 1. Similarly, we have to specify bean 2, and so on. So these beans are nothing but these are the class names. These beans are nothing but these are the class. So guys, if you want to configure, then we have to specify in the configuration file. So the parent tag for the configuration file will be bean. Bean is nothing but it is an entity assigned to Spring container. It is nothing but it is an entity which is assigned to IOC container or Spring container. So let's say if you want to assign 10 entity, then you will use 10 bean tag. So for the first bean tag, let's say the employee class is there. So this employee is going to act as one bean. Similarly, student will act as one bean. If you have 100 class here, then you have to make use of this bean tag 100 times. And that you have to write inside beans. Beans is going to specify a number of entity or bean class. So this configuration can be done using config.xml. Will be done using config.xml. So it will tell to the IOC container to manage these particular class or to configure this particular class which is going to act as a bean. So guys, all of you take down some heading as configuration file and please copy down these points. So these points are very important, guys. Now I'm explaining, you are getting, but if you will not write in future, you will forget. So better, guys, each and everything you have to copy, you have to make a document. So before interview, you can just read it once, you will get the clear picture. Yes, we'll go for program, but these theory are very much required because if you go for interview, guys, they will not ask program, they'll ask theory things more. Yeah. So just take down subheading as configuration file and please copy down the points, whatever we have discussed just now. Please make it fast, guys. Coming about IOC container. Now IOC container can handle basically 3 types of dependency injection. Now basically this IOC container can handle 3 types of dependency injection. So dependency injection handled by IOC container. So first type is, so now guys, IOC container can handle basically 3 different types of dependency injection. So first type is, you can say, primitive type. First type is primitive type dependency injection. Next, this IOC container can handle collection type dependency injection. IOC container can handle collection type dependency injection. Even IOC container can handle reference type or object type. Reference type or object type dependency injection. So guys, now this IOC container is capable of handling 3 different types of dependency injection. So first is primitive type, second is collection type, and third is reference type. So whatever we have discussed, guys, in case of setter injection, in case of constructor injection, these are nothing but your reference type. These are nothing but your reference type injection. That is, we have injected one class object reference into another class. So similarly, it can handle 2 more types of dependency injection. That is primitive type, you can say byte, short, int, long, and remaining primitive iterates. Even guys, it can handle collection type dependency injection, something as list, set, queue, map, and properties. So these type of dependency injection, even it can be handled by IOC container. So coming about among these 3, this reference object type is important. In most of the case, guys, once you will go for real-time project, we have to go for reference type dependency injection. But even you should know this, what is collection type dependency injection and what is primitive type. So we'll discuss each and everything one by one. So guys, take down next subheading, different types of dependency injection handled by IOC container. So after that, we can create a Maven project and we can start the coding of the Spring programs. So after this, guys, we'll see the first program in Springs for dependency injection. So now take down subheading as different types of dependency injection handled by IOC container. And please copy down these 3. We'll discuss these 3 one by one. Yes, guys, copy down first. Okay. So now, guys, all of you see here, later you can do it. So again, we have to create a Maven project. So what we will do, we'll say new, then we'll click on project, and here we'll type Maven project, we'll click on next. And here we have to select same thing, guys, Maven archetype quick start, whatever version you have. You can have 1.1, you can have 1.4. Then click on next. So let's say I'm going to give the group ID as demo project, or let's say first Spring project, and I'll give an artifact ID as test. Now, if you want, you can change the package name here. So let's say I'm going to give com.jsp. Like let's say the project name is demo.module1, and then I'll click on finish. Done, guys. So now we have to add here 2 dependency. Basically, we have to add here 2 dependency. So first is Spring core, and second is Spring context. In this, we have to add two dependency, that is Spring Core and Spring Context. So that you can type here, guys, Spring Core dependency. You can type here Spring Core dependency, and you can select the first option here. You can select here first option. Now you will get the different version, guys. You can see you are going to get the different version now. So just scroll down, and you can select any version. You can select any version, but I'll go for 5.2.3. You can select any version, guys, but I'm going to make use of 5.2.3. You can go for 5.2.8 also, anything is fine, but I'll go for 5.2.3. So guys, click on 5.2.3 and just copy down this particular dependency. Just copy down particular dependency and paste in this. Scroll down and you will get here you will get a dependencies tag. Here you will get, guys, dependencies tag. So inside the dependencies tag, just paste this particular dependency. So now we have copied Spring Core dependency we have copied. Now similarly we have to copy Spring Context. Similarly we have to copy, guys, Spring Context. So you can type here Spring Context and then you will click on search. So guys, Spring Core and Spring Context dependency version should be same. You have to add same version of Spring Core and Spring Context. So again, I'll go for 5.2.3 itself. 5.2.3, yeah, 5.2.3 itself. I'm going to choose it once again, and I'll add the dependency. I'll add the dependency. So again, within this dependencies tag, let us paste this. Yeah, you can see these two dependency has been added. So just check it once whether it has been added or not. So you can see here, this all inside this Maven folder, all this dependency has been added. First is Spring Core, and then you can see Spring Context. Whatever was required, this dependency has been added here. Yes, so guys, all of you do it fast. Add the dependency. So now we will create a Pojo class. Now we'll create a Pojo class. So let's say, yeah, we'll create a Pojo class. We'll select the package and we'll create a class here. So let's say the Pojo class name is student itself, and then click on finish. Just see here, guys. Later you can do it. Nothing great. Just we have to create one Pojo class, and then we create some normal property. So let's say private in USN. Next, private. Yeah, let's say next one is private string name. Similarly, let's say private string, or let's say private double marks. So what we can do, guys, we will create a getters and setters to go to source, generate getters and setters. Okay, we need to select the field first. So generate getters and setters. Select all. Okay. Now, if you want, you can generate constructor also. Yeah, if you want, but not required. But if you want, you can generate a constructor. Just generate default constructor here. And since I need to print the reference, so I'll override to a string method also. I'll override, guys, to a string method also. So now we have created a Pojo class. Next, we will have one main class. We will have one main class. So here I'd say, here I'll just give a statement. Project started. Project started. Then we'll say project ended. Then we have to specify here, guys, project execution completed. Project execution completed. You want project execution started and completed. Yeah. Now in between we are going to write the code, but hold on. So guys, here normally if we are using Java program, then what we can do, we can write student A equals to new student. Student A equals to new student, and we will access the property. by creating object. But since we are going to use here Spring, so we are not going to create the object manually. In case of Spring, guys, we will not create the object manually. The object creation will be done by Spring container, that is IOC container at runtime. So we will not create the object manually. So the object will be created by Spring container. But hold on, again, Spring container is not a, like it is not a Superman. So we have to specify to the Spring container to create the object for the particular class. To create the object for particular class. Now, so in the sense we have to configure our Spring framework. If you want to configure your Spring framework, you have to create, yes, you have to create one configuration file. You have to create one configuration file. So right click, go to new, and you have to select other. Right click, go to new and select other. And here you have to select XML file. So select XML file. So you can give, guys, any name for this configuration file. So let's say this is my first configuration. So I'll say config1.xml. You can give anything. So that's what. Next, click on next and finish. So guys, all of you complete up to here. Create a POJO class, create a DAO class, data access object, and then create a configuration file. So guys, if you remember, in case of Hibernate configuration, we used to add one DTT file. So similarly, guys, in Spring configuration also, either we have to add one schema file, or we have to add DTT file. We have to add one schema file, or we have to add DTT file. So from where you will get this DTT, you can go to Google. From Google you can get, or what you can do, guys, yeah, so you can get it from Google, or go to Google and type Spring 5 document PDF. Or what you can do, guys, you can go to Google and type Spring 5 document PDF. So this is nothing but, guys, this is a documentation of Spring. This is a documentation of Spring. So whatever, like each and every concept. So basically you can say it is nothing but it is a book which is written by Rod Johnson. It is written by developer itself. So just if you want, you can download it for reference and you can go through once, because always it is a better practice to learn the things from documentation itself. No one can teach you as proper as exactly documentation will teach you. So now let's say, guys, if you have learned Hibernate, so just go through one documentation of Hibernate. If you want to become punter, if you want to become perfect. Similarly, if you want to learn the things in depth, you can go for documentation. But guys, it's not easy, like it's not that easy to go through documentation. It's nearly of 800 pages. Spring documentation, guys, it is nearly of 800 pages. Let's see, let me download this first. So you can see here, Spring framework reference documentation. So it is of 855 pages. Because Spring framework is very huge. Compared to Hibernate also, it's very huge. So you can see, this is your Spring framework reference documentation, and version is 5. So currently also we will use 5 version. It is a stable version, and it has been written by Rod Johnson and even few more developers. Yeah, but mainly Rod Johnson and few more developers, guys. Fine. So if you scroll down, you can see the complete content. If you scroll down, guys, you can see the complete content of this file. You will get the complete content. So currently, guys, we are learning core. Currently, we are going to learn core. So from here also, you can go through what is IOC container, configuration, each and everything. Each and everything, guys, you can follow this document. You can see here, constructor-based dependency injection, setters-based. So even sometimes I'll follow this. So even if you want, you can follow this document. But guys, currently, we want the DTD file. We want the DTD file, or we want schema file. So you can see here, one thing we have, instantiating a container. Instantiating the containers. Just click on that. So if you click on that, you can see you will get another page. You will get another page. Just scroll down, and here you can see the schema file. Here you can see the schema file. So you have to add this DTD file or schema file in your project. You have to add this DTD file or schema file in your project now, in this configuration file. This particular DTD file you need to add. But guys, I need to add few more property. Yes, if you want the basic DTD file, you can follow this. If you scroll down, you will get multiple DTD, guys. But if you want basic DTD, you can follow this. But I want some advanced DTD file also, PS schema, few more things, each and everything I'm going to explain. So I will not add that particular DTD file. So I'll go for another DTD. In the sense, few things will be same, but I have added few more extra DTD properties. So I'm going to add this particular degree file. I'm going to add this particular degree file. So it contains basically property of bins, context, and p schema. What is p schema, guys? We'll see that. Don't worry. So all of you guys copy down this degree file and keep somewhere safely. You know, guys, why do we use degree file? So just to import the tags, to import the properties from respective repository, we will add the DTD. So what I'll do, guys, even I'll copy this DTD file and I'll paste in my configuration file. I'll remove the first line even and I'll paste this configuration file. So now we have created a configuration file and we have added a DTD. You can see here, you can see, guys, here the parent tag is bins. The parent tag is bins. So guys, inside this bins, we have to make use of one tag, that is bin tag. So you will say bin control space enter. Inside this bin tag, you have to make inside this bins. Bins is nothing but group of bin. But here we will, inside this bins tag, we'll make use of one tag, that is bin. So we will say bin, and here we have to specify the properties. Yes, inside this bin, basically this bin is nothing but class. Bin is nothing but, guys, you can say it is a class. So what we will do, you have to write here bin, and you have to pass the class name. So bin class equals to double quote. And here you have to pass the fully qualified class name. Here you have to pass the fully qualified class name. Basically, you are telling IOC container to create the object of this particular class. So you will say bin class and you will pass the fully qualified class name. So my class name is student. I'll go back, right click, copy fully qualified class name, and I'll paste in this bin class equals to. So basically, we are going to specify to the IOC container to create the object of this particular class. So we have to pass here fully qualified class name. Yes. So guys, once object is created, we will have some reference. We will have some object reference to identify the object uniquely. So even we have to assign some reference for this object, which will be created by IOC container. So we will say name equals to student1. Let's say reference is student1. You can give anything of your choice. Yeah. So let's say student1. And so the time you will write this particular, yes guys, so the time you will write this particular statement, one object will be created. One object will be created by IOC container. One object will be created by IOC container at runtime, and that object will be pointed by student1 reference. Or you can say the name of object is student1. The name of object is student1. So here one object will be created by IOC container. So inside that we have to pass all the properties. In the sense, we have to pass the property. So once object is created, means we have to pass the property. So we will make use of property tag. So now guys, for this property, we will have some value. For this property, we will have some value. So we will make use of one tag value. For this particular property, guys, we will have some value. So you will pass here value tag, and inside this value tag, you have to pass the value. Inside this value tag, you have to pass the value. So guys, what is the first property name of student class? What is the first property name of student class? USN, right? Yes or no, guys? So the first property of USN of student class is USN. So what you will do, you will set the USN first. You will set the USN first. So in config file, you will say property name equals to USN. You will say, guys, property name equals to USN, and you will pass USN value here. You will pass the USN value here. So let's say the USN is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is nothing but USN. So currently, guys, one object, the time you will write this statement, one object will be created, and property for name, like we have first property, that is name, we are going to set by a tag property. And so this property will have some value. So inside that we have to make use of one, and that is value. Similarly, guys, we have other property also. So what we can do, we can make use of again property tag. Second is nothing but your name. So we'll pass your name here. Okay, twice. Similarly, you have one more property, guys. Similarly, you have one more property. So the name of property is marks. So one by one, you have to pass the property and you have to set the value. So let's say I do these things in same line, you can do. In single line, you can do, guys. So again, let's say value, and here we have to pass name. So let's say the name is Satish. Let's say the marks of Satish is, okay, so let me take one more. Yeah, so marks is 68.96. So guys, you can see we have assigned each and every property. First, the property was USN. So for USN, we have set the value as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next, name. For name, we have set the name as Satish Raj. That's it. Next, for marks, we have set it the value. So guys, all of you do up to here. So we have completed we have created a POJO class. Next, we have configured a POJO class with IOC. We have specified the IOC container to create the object for this particular POJO class. Next, we have to write the data access. That is, we have to write the main class program. We have to write the main class program. So guys, now basically we have to pass each and everything to IOC container. We have to pass each and everything to IOC container. So guys, what are different types of IOC container we have? So basically you can say bean factory and application context. So in most of the case we'll go for application context itself. So here also guys, we'll make use of IOC container, that is application context. You can see it's present in a package org.framework.context. So let us import this first. So we are going to make use of a IOC container, type of IOC container, that is application context. Next, so basically this is nothing but guys, this is your interface. So we cannot use new operator to create object. We cannot use new operator to create object, but we can create the object of implementation class. We can create the object of implementation class. So guys, as we discussed, we have multiple implementation class of application context. We have multiple implementation class of application context. So we have basically 4, but currently we are going to make use of XML file. Currently we are using XML file, so we have to make use of implementation class again, class.xml application context. Yeah, you can see guys, you got here class path XML application context. So basically it is the implementation class of application context. So we'll make use of this particular implementation class itself. So we will create the object of implementation class and we will store in reference, that is, will store in interface. So basically you can say here it is upcasting is happening. Basically here upcasting, because we are creating the object of subclass and we are storing in superclass. So here superclass is application context. Fine. So guys, now application context, this class path XML application context will accept the argument. So basically it is going to accept your configuration file. It wants configuration file, then only it can go to particular configuration file, it can configure the resource, it can create the object, it can set the property. So we have to pass a configuration file name. So the configuration file name is config1.java, not Java guys, we have to make use of XML here. So config1.xml. So here class path we have to specify here your configuration file name. So config1.xml. But hold on, this config1.xml is present in some package, or let's say it is present in some folder. So even we have to specify that. So you can see this config1 is present in a folder by com /. So basically it is a project, but whenever we are going to talk about class, for class it is going to act as package, but for a normal file it is going to act as a folder. So package, so guys, for class package will act as a, so for class this com.js.demo.mod one is going to act as a package, but for XML file or any configuration file it will act as a folder. So we have to specify here path. So we will say com/jsp/demo/mod1 module 1, and we have to again pass /, guys. Again we have to pass /. So all of you guys complete up to here, make use of application context, create the object of implementation class, and pass here your XML file complete path, that is folder name along with your XML file name. All of you complete up to here guys. So basically we performed here upcasting. So next what we have to do guys, so the time you will do this, so IOC container will create an object, because basically we are using here application context IOC container, and we are not able to create the object directly since it's an interface. So we are using implementation class. So the time you will do this, one object will be created. So now basically you can say one bean will be created. In terms of Spring, we will say it as a bean, because we have assigned the student class to IOC container. So if you want to fetch the bean, we have to make use of this particular reference. So we will say here context dot get You can see get bins, context dot get, just a second, get bins, and here you have to pass the reference of the object, or you have to pass the bin name. You have to pass you can pass here the reference of the object, or you can pass here bin name. So here we have assigned this particular class bin name. If you remember guys, in XML file itself we have assigned particular class bin name. So just copy and paste here. Okay, so I need to go to the source. So the bean name is student1. So I want to fetch this particular bean. So I'll say student1 and I'll pass in the method get bean. Now I'll store in a variable which is of a type student itself. So I'll say student a equals to student a equals to. So here basically we have to perform again upcasting. So just you are getting an error, so mouse over, add cast to student. And yes, our work is done. So here application context will create an object at runtime. If you want to fetch the value, just write here sysout a. Sysout a. So get bin is used to fetch the bin which has been created by IOC container. Yes. So now if you will execute, you can see one object will be created. So just right click and execute this program now. Run on Java application, not serverless. So you can see project started, student name is, student username is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Yeah, and name is Satish Raj and marks is 68. So here guys, one object has been created. Now if you will not override to a string method, then you will get the address of object. You will not override to a string method, you will get the address of the object. So let's see. So here internally IOC container is creating a object. We are not creating by using new operator. So you can see here we are getting the address of the object that is fully qualified class name. If you want to fetch the details of the object, then override fully qualified class name. That is override to a string method. So if you execute, you can see we are going to get the output. One object created, project. See, it is taking some time, guys. You can see it's taking down some time. After this project execution started, it is taking some millisecond, because even IOC container needs some time to create the object. First, IOC container will search for the entity, then it will convert it into the bean, and then it will create the object. So it is taking some time, you can see. So guys, now currently which type of injection we have used? Setter injection we have used. So if you want to verify, just you can give a statement here. In the setter method, you can give a statement here. You can give a statement like setting USL. Setting USL. Similarly, if you want, just give here setting name. Similarly, you have to say here setting marks. So currently we have used setters injection. Okay, not like that. Let us remove this and setting marks. If you want, we have generated a get constructor also. If you want, just pass here sysout. And let's see what is happening. This line of statement is printing or not. Let us see. So constructor injection. Let's say const injection. Let us see, guys, what's happening. Java application. Yeah. So obviously, if object is created, constructor will be invoked. No doubt at all. So first, one object is created. So once object is created, we can see default constructor has been invoked. And then we are setting. Okay, spelling is wrong, guys. Okay, setting. Then you can see we are setting the value using setter itself. So here we have used setter injection. Why this constructor has been invoked? Because obviously one object is created. So once object is created, constructor will be invoked. So first one object is created, so you can say constructor. Don't give constructor injection, guys. You will be confused. For constructor injection, we have to do something else. So let's say object created. Object created. And then we are setting the value. Yes, so guys, is it clear? So this is all about your setter injection, and what type of value we have injected, guys. We have injected primitive type of value. You can see we have injected the primitive type of value. Similarly, we have to learn how to inject collection type. Then we have to learn how to inject reference type, one object reference inside another object. But currently we have injected primitive type value. So guys, is it clear? Up to here, any doubt? Is it clear for everyone? Now guys, similarly, if you want to create one more object, then what you will do? If you want to create one more object, then what you will do? Another bean. Very good. So what you will do, again, you will come here and you will assign another bean. You will assign another bean. So let's say the bean name will be student2, and here we have to fetch one more bean. So we will say context.getBean. So everything will remain same, guys. We have to say context.getBean, and here we have to pass that second object or bean class name, and we have to perform the same upcast tag, and then we have to store. So we'll just do copy paste. We'll pass here b, and we'll pass here student2, and here we'll pass it to b, guys. So you can see, guys, first object has been, if you want, you can give a divider here in between, you can justify. So here two objects will be created, and for both the object property will be set. Now have a look. Yes. So you can see one object has been created. For this object property we have set it. Again, one more object has been created. We have set it the value, and then we are fetching the value of first object. Then we are fetching the value of second object, and your project execution completed. Yes. So like this, guys, you can create multiple. Like this, you can create multiple bean and you can proceed. So this is the one way. By using property tag, guys, we can configure your config XML. Similarly, we have one more way. We can do it by using attribute value. So we will do that also, guys. So what we will do here, see. So if we use attribute value, the length of code will be reduced. So I'll comment this part. Okay, so what I do is currently I'll use only one object. Yeah, if you want, you can do multiple objects. That is your choice. You can create a number of objects. But currently we have used this value attribute, or you can say value tag. This is basically value tag. Now we have to set the value using attribute, by using attribute value. So even you can follow this, or you can go for second way. So I'll comment this part. So what you can do, you can say, if you want, so this is your by using value tag. Now similarly, if you want, you can go and you can do it by using value attribute, but result will remain same as value attribute. Now let's say we'll say again we are getting an error again. Why we are getting an error? Okay, no error, guys, fine. So we'll say property equals to ID, property name equals to ID, and here itself will pass the value. So first is my USN, so I'll pass USN 1, 2, 3. Let's say next is your name. So guys, you can see here we have used value tag, but even you can do like this, property name equals to ID and value equals to this particular thing. And now no need to use this property. Yeah, so what I can do, I can close this tag here. So we will use self-closing tag here. So we have assigned the first property. Similarly, you can go for second property event. You can say property name equals to name itself and value equals to, let's say this time I'm going to pass Tinga, and you can close this tag. Similarly, we have one more property. So we'll pass you. Okay, name is done. We'll pass your marks, and we'll pass your value equals to double quotes, and we'll close this. So guys, even you can do like this. So this is by using value attribute, but output will remain same. But if you'll compare the first one and last one, first one and second one, you can see the length has been reduced. So we have only one bean. So let me remove the second thing and let us execute. So again, one object should be created. This is not ID, this is USN. I guess now it should work fine. Yeah, you can do like this also, guys. You can make use of value tag, or you can go for value attribute. Yes, this is the second way. Guys, we have one more way. If you want to concise your code, we can go for P schema. Guys. So what I'll do, even I'll comment this part. I'll comment this also. Now we will go for P schema. So you can follow any of them. P schema. So here, so in case of P schema, you will not use property tag as well. At the time of declaring bean itself, you can set the value. at the time of declaring bean itself, you can set the value. So you can say here p. Yeah, here itself you can set the value. So what you can say p dot, and you can pass the property name here itself. So first property is USN. So p dot p colon USN equals to 1, 2, 3. Similarly, you will give a space here, and you will say p colon name equals to, and we will give name here. So let's say the name is data. Similarly, p colon marks equals to, and marks will be what, guys? Marks will be some integer value. So double quotes 96.36. So guys, either you can follow using value tag or by using value attribute, or you can go for p schema. You can go for, guys, p schema as well. Choice is yours. So if you want, you can close the bean tag here itself. If you want, you can close the bean tag here itself. No need to close it. So if you will use p schema, guys, you can see the length of your code will be reduced. We'll compare with another schemas, and if you use p schema, guys, the length of code will be reduced. That is the reason, guys, you can see we have added here one dependency, that is even p schema, when we have added p schema. So if you want, you can go for either of them, but I'll in most of the case, guys, I'll go for p schema. Yeah, so that length of code will be reduced. Now let us execute and see what's happening here. Then you can execute each and everything by yourself, guys. No need to worry. Yes, even it's working. So either you can go for value tag, you can go for value attribute, or you can go for p schema. So guys, all of you try these things fast. Complete your configuration file by using p schema. So currently we have completed what is Spring dependency injection with example, inversion of control, IOC controller, IOC container, and types. Next we have seen advantage of Spring framework, then different ways of injection, and next different ways of dependency injection supported by IOC container. So just now we have discussed primitive type. So in tomorrow's class we'll see collection type dependency injection. Okay, collection type dependency injection, and then we'll go for reference type. And once these concepts are done, we will go for constructor type DI. So these things, if possible, we'll try to cover in tomorrow's class. So guys, please practice the things. If you have any doubt, so up to here we have completed. Up to here, guys, we have completed. So these concepts we'll try to cover in tomorrow's class. So still, guys, we are learning the basics of your Spring, that is your core Spring. So we'll complete it as soon as possible. So please be regular, go through the concepts, whatever we are going to discuss. I hope you are getting the concepts, whatever I'm explaining. Yes or no, guys?